How to win friends and influence people. 6 ways to get people to like you. We continue with smile. Dale Carnegie says, you must have a good time meeting people if you expect them to have a good time meeting you. And then he says, I did something in one of my classes. He said, I challenged them to smile at least once at something every hour of the day. And he says, how do you think that went? He says, well, I got a letter back from this one student who was a New York Stock Exchange broker. And he says, I was kind of a grumpy guy, but he says, I told myself, I'm going to try this. And he says, so I woke up, and he says, my wife and I had been married for 18 years. And he said, I woke up one morning, he says, as I was getting ready, I looked in the mirror and I said, Bill, you're going to smile today and you're going to be happy. He says, I went down to breakfast, and he says, for the first time in years, he says, I simply smiled at my wife and said, good morning, dear. And he said, she was shocked, bewildered. She said, what's wrong with you? And he said, from that moment on, I knew I was on to something. And he said, I did it everywhere I went, including at work, at the stock exchanges. I met people. He says, in less than a month, he says, I absolutely revolutionized my life. Why? Because he simply chose to take the challenge. Smile every day. Smile every hour of the day. This is what William James said. Action seems to follow feeling, but really action and feeling go together. And by regulating the action, which is under the more direct control of the will, we can indirectly regulate our feeling, which is not. My friend, smiling, the action of smiling will literally change your personality and the way that you interact. And the stockbroker said it directly impacted his income by a lot. That's just a side benefit. My friend, smiling won't just bring happiness into your life, it will attract people to you. Happy people. Try it.